I would like to sell covered calls on my Tesla bags on mean reversion spikes using PTOS. Would two standard deviation be similar using the mean reversion in IDSS and the one in PTOS if I were to set USD or Dixie as the inverse? No. The core code for PTOS is very different to IDS, and do not use a dollar as the inverse asset. PTOS is designed for inverse correlated assets like 3x long, 3x short, or Tesla, Teslac, nothing else. Okay. The data model does not work unless it's the inverse. It identifies when things overbought and oversold and tells you to go long, to go short. It's that simple. Do not use anything else in there. Now, I do use IDSS mean reversion for covered calls. I'm going to walk through that as well because there's a ton of covered call covered call questions because I've been doing a lot of covered calls. You've mentioned using the ATR model to sell calls at peaks. No, I didn't. I don't use the ATR model for that. I use the ATR model to find out where an asset is at, but not to time my call selling. What about ATR to buy calls short term and at lows? So much here in this one little beautiful sentence, Radko, very nicely formulated. I love it, but I want to set you straight. First of all, I use mean reversion for call selling and put selling. Now, second thing, most important, buying short-term calls are the kiss of death. You buy time, lots of time. You buy something that expires in 60, 90 days, unless you have a huge amount of asymmetry in the information or data, you will probably get smashed, okay? So you sell the short-term stuff, you buy the long-term stuff. You do not buy the short-term stuff. Make sure that's clear. And there's a whole bunch of other questions related. I'm going to walk through all of these now. From Giggy HR, thanks for what you do. Can you talk a little bit about the concept of selling covered calls specifically against your leaps? I understand the concept of selling covered calls. However, if you own the underlying stock, aren't you effectively just selling a covered call against your spot, as your spot would be sold off in the event of the share price? Yes. But what you're doing when you sell a call against a leap is you're doing something a little different. Let me try and explain with an example. I'm going to turn my camera off here. If you have a deep in the money leap as insurance, for example, a lot of you have the 140 leaps on Tesla that are expiring in January 2026, by the way. So make sure you got some cash to convert them into stock and hold that stock and then sell calls against that stock. But when you do have the underlying leap, in the event something happens, like the stock explodes to the upside, you need protection. So for example, you sell a $110 call against a leap, the stock shoots up to 150 overnight. You have to exercise the leap. That's your insurance. Buy it at 70 and then sell the stock at 110 and you make 40 profit per share, plus any other premiums you got earlier. But the problem is when you sell calls, you're giving somebody the right to buy at a low price. Yes, it's very lucrative, but sometimes it can go against you. Therefore, I like to time call selling very, very carefully and not just feel compelled to do it every single week. And then related to this is how we sell calls from Soul Sister. My goals are to enhance income and for my existing positions and increase my Tesla holdings cost effectively when the stock dips. I currently hold 1,500 shares. Woohoo! That's a big bag. It's a very nice bag. Congratulations. Because 300 is the bogey. And you have many multiples of 300. 5x 300. Awesome. Average cost 215. Awesome as well. You bought the dips for years. And I'm looking to generate income while potentially buying more shares at a lower price. I'm very bullish in Tesla long term. So am I. I'm wanting to sell cash secured puts to acquire additional Tesla shares at a discount while earning premiums. Yes, you can do that. As you know, I do a lot of that too. How should I select a target price for a cash secured put that I'd be more comfortable in buying Tesla at? Well, I was thinking about using ATR model, to identify the levels that you find attractive. So for me, low 400 is very attractive, anything around 411, maybe 413, maybe under 411 if we can get there. And apart from using other tools in the suite, what you would use. So let me walk you through exactly how. It's really unbelievably easy. Mean reversion, you sell the puts on mean reversion bottoms. See all those green dots? Sell puts, sell puts, sell puts, sell puts. Then, it's very important, when you do that, the price typically goes up 85% of the time. Again, not hard. Also, You sell calls the exact same way, but at the top, sell calls, sell calls, sell calls, sell calls, little red dots. Wait for the trend to turn. Do sell the call. Boom. And typically, these big mean reversion spikes beyond multiple standard deviations, they tend to be anomalies. And when there is such volatility, the price of the options is very expensive. So when you're selling a put, you're selling an expensive put, so you do well. And after a big price spike to the upside, you're selling a call, the volatility is high, the options are expensive, you make a lot of premium. That's it. That's it. And don't forget to use your back test. Here, if you use the mean reversion back test model, your win rate's 84.62%. It's that simple. So don't overthink it and enjoy the ride. That's all you have to do.